city council meeting, resolution was brought forward with the purpose to authorize improvements to the 16th inch Haven parcel of either side of 16th Street, which most recently was part of a car dealership. My colleagues and I voted to table this ordinance until we can complete our due diligence. I very much appreciate the mayor and the administration's efforts to address the blighted and eyesore area, as residents should endure these unsightly conditions while ongoing discussions take place as to what to do with the property. However, I, as well as many residents, question if this initiative with a price tag of $1 million was really in the best interest of the city or the taxpayers. I spent a significant amount of time reviewing the proposal and given much thought to this proposal, and I like to offer the following. First of all, the expense. The city already has a sizable investment in acquiring these properties. I understand we're seeking grants and other funding to pay for some of the expense, so I can make a well-informed decision about authorizing the city to spend $1 million on what appeared to be many, including myself, to be less than a permanent solution to this blighted area. I requested bid specifications, architectural schematics, plans, drawings, in addition to the unit costs that were provided in the proposed ordinance. And here's what I found. The permanent improvements account for approximately 82.2% of the total cost of $1,012,840 or $832,570. So a significant amount of it is going to be permanent improvements. The remainder, $180,000, are improvements, not in the sense that we're going to just put grass there for the summer or for a year, but improvements that are going to be in place for many, many years until the community ultimately decides what's the best use for the property. Based on initial feedback, when residents were asked to provide their thoughts on what to do with the property, green open space seemed to be a recurring theme there. The green space portion of the proposal, excluding permanent parking, breaks down to $116,000 for sod, $13,000 for topsoil, $42,000 for irrigation, and some other smaller costs. So the total is $189,000 for this improvement, which really isn't all that temporary out of the $1 million. Parking. There's a significant shortage of parking at the community center, and many times during the day. I've parked in the middle of the field in the old car dealership when I'm trying to go to the gym some days because there's so many people there. And we have a lot of special events, and it's not really safe to park there sometimes because there's holes and potholes, etc. This proposal offers approximately 62 additional paved parking spaces. This will be a permanent lot, non-temporary, and includes drainage, including ADA compliant ramps and paving. The parcel on the north side of the street abuts the Mill Parker Sports Field. There's no current all-street parking for this recreational facility except for the old car dealer lot. This proposal also offers 54 permanent parking spaces, which are not temporary and include drainage, curbing, ADA compliant ramps, and paving. With both locations, there will be 116 additional parking spaces in this area, which is a wonderful thing. The grass field. The grass field is not really a temporary solution in the purest sense of the word temporary. In fact, it may be permanent. When I say temporary, that's subjective. I'm thinking at least 3 to 5 years, that's my own personal opinion, until the residents and neighbors come together to ultimately decide how we use the grass field and complete any additional work if needed. In the interim, the field can be used for many recreational purposes and meets the overarching call of residents to keep the parcels open green space. It would be a shame for the property to sit vacant for many, many more years in the condition it's in. So final use of the property. The environmental cleanup just recently completed. Soil monitoring has to continue for a period of time to make sure the soil remains clean and pristine. And unfortunately, we couldn't make these improvements until the cleanup was completed. So after much of the resident feedback and suggestions that were received as to what to do with the property, they all revolved around green space. So the final decision, the final completion is still many years away. In the interim, as I said, something has to be done, including clearing of the existing parcels. So after completing my due diligence and having given this proposal significant thought, as I said, I am supportive of this resolution to address the blighted conditions at 16th and Haven. I'll never vote to spend taxpayers' money irresponsibly, but to allow the property to sit as is, to be an eyesore property, to the detriment of the community and neighbors, and avoiding the much needed permanent parking opportunity is probably not a viable alternative in my opinion. Thank you.
Jim?